What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk About It, your favorite IG live show. I am your host, Jeff. We got a lot to talk about today, but first and always remember, I want to see all your comments. Continue to comment and let me know what you think. We can talk about anything. One major story going on today. Ain't nothing else been moving but AD, Anthony Davis, once out of New Orleans, and where's he gonna go? I think he is the biggest domino to fall in the NBA in terms of trades and where he's gonna go since LeBron in the decision. He can literally affect 6 to 10 teams with where he ends up. And we're gonna start talking about that. First, the Lakers. That's been the team that's been rumored, and you know there's always that mystique about them that they always get their free agents, which is kind of sort of false, because other than Shaq and LeBron, Paul George should have been there if that was the case. I don't know. But he has been linked to the Lakers. Rich Paul, same agent as LeBron and him. So is he going to go there? Let's see what you guys are thinking. AD to the Lakers. Davis is going to the Raptors. Alex, that's a good point. We just got the alert. If you have the BR app, which I know you do, and if you don't, download it now. They just sent me an alert like 2 minutes before I got on that said that the Bucks and the Raptors are thinking about getting into this AD sweepstakes and making their pitch. The Raptors more so are interesting to me because they have Kawhi, who isn't guaranteed to sign at the end of the year, and AD, who may not be guaranteed to sign with them long term. Do they put all their chips in the middle of the table and go for one title run and then just blow it up anyway? That's a fantastic proposition. And Kawhi and AD on the same team, they literally just stick their arms out like this, and you ain't going nowhere. That is a scary sight. It will be scary hours for the entire NBA if that happens. And Toronto, I know you would want that. AD to the Thunder. I don't know who they would really give up. I don't know if the money adds up. I don't know if their assets are enough to pull that off, and if their picks would actually matter in terms of New Orleans, because they would have to do a complete rebuild. That's interesting. AD, Paul George, and Russ. That would be that. I don't know who else they would have, but that's an interesting take. AD and Giannis on the same team are clear MVP front runners. Giannis's case would definitely be boosted, and similar to him and Kawhi, that would be terrorizing for the league. And it'd also be ill because AD joining Milwaukee, he probably would be the best big man in Milwaukee since Kareem. You think all the way back. That would be dope. I know Bucks fans would love that. AD, Bron, and Clay versus Curry, Durant, and Cousins. Goat Uchenna brings up another interesting point. There were reports that said that if Clay doesn't get, I just did the Super Saiyan, the Super Saiyan fusion morph with KD and Clay. But if Clay doesn't get the Super Max from the Warriors, he would consider the Lakers if they got Anthony Davis, which that would be an interesting big three to have. Outside shooting, LeBron being LeBron, and AD controlling everything in the paint and just dropping quadruple double caliber stats. Man. But I don't know. Clay seems like he would want to stay. He's always said that he want to stay, and I think if he gets that max, he would. But it's interesting the type of feelers that are being put out there. I do agree it's going to be a 3-team trade. Wonder who the third team is going to be. Lakers always make a splash deal. Mr. Presidente 44. That Paul Gasol fleece, LeBron signing. Other than that, I don't know about always. I think we get that because who wouldn't want to play in LA? I mean, beautiful weather, a historic franchise, a competent franchise. Who wouldn't want to play out there? But I don't know about always. That we should be careful speaking in absolutes. I like to see Clay or AD to Spurs. Imagine that. Chris Clark, if Pop got AD and Clay on the same team with the current configuration, man, they would be running all types of plays on the league. That would be interesting. It would also be interesting to see how he operates. I know he's on the Olympic team. He's going to be the Olympic team coach. So coaching all those stars, Pop hasn't really had that from the outside. So we'll see. Trade Westbrook for AD. Danny. I mean, I think that's actually interesting. Y'all think that the Thunder would do that at this point? Trade their franchise for a top 5 player? I don't know where that would put them in terms of their point guard play or their guard play in general, but if we're getting desperate and that player is on the table, you have to consider all options. 80 to the Wizards for Otto, Wall, Coach Brooks, and the GM. Some first rounders, too. Big Blue, I was just about to say, y'all might as well send Brooks everybody. Send Grunfeld, send send the cheerleaders, send the mascots, send everybody, send Mambo Sauce, send everything you can in DC to get AD. But would he sign? That's the question. Here's another interesting question for you. I know that the Knicks have been brought up depending on where their #1 pick is. If you had a chance at a top 5 player in his prime right now, and you had to trade Zion and some other players, would you do it? Or would you want to keep Zion and see what he develops into? Because they are saying that he is a transformative, transgenerational, once-in-a-generation talent. I don't know. That's a real tough decision. As someone who's been a Knicks fan and who's seen them go after stars and trade a bunch of players and always try to make the splash, it kind of gives me pause. And I would love, if they do get the #1 pick, I'd love to see them draft Zion and have that player in the Garden and see what he turns into, because we haven't been in that position in a while. But Anthony Davis, man, he's more than just a top 5. He's somebody who does things that no other player can do, and he can transform the franchise. On the other hand, I've seen him on so-so teams, and I wouldn't want to trade one fate for another. I don't know. What do y'all think? He could join Kemba. Where? Where, Top Shelf? In Charlotte? Jordan has done some amazing things. I'd love to see Jordan pull this one off. That would probably be the greatest shot he ever made in his career, and that's saying a whole lot. Do you think Kyrie comes to LA? King T92, I think Bron and Kyrie love trolling, y'all. I think they love having fun with this what if. Kyrie, I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to be the most interesting free agent in the offseason. He's been linked to rejoin LeBron. He's been linked to stay with the Celtics. He said it, if you believe him at his word. He said he wanted to re-sign with the Celtics, but who knows what could happen throughout the course of a season. He's been linked to New York. He's been linked to a bunch of places. So I don't think I'd be super shocked, but given everything that we've heard about their relationship, quote unquote, who knows? AD is going to the Sixers for Markelle and a bunch of picks, plus maybe Ben Simmons. Will Moss, if they trade for AD, it's not going to be Ben Simmons included in that trade at all whatsoever. You may want to watch Jimmy Butler. And shout out to my guy, Tom Maurice, who's part of the Sixers Hive, who has already fantasy booked that trade with Jimmy Crawford in it. So, yeah, I wouldn't. Nah, not Ben Simmons. Knicks trade Knox, Robinson, Ntilikina, Hardaway Jr., and 3 draft picks for AD. That's the type of trade that the Knicks used to make. That's literally mortgaging your future for one player. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you should do that. 3 draft picks? Who else is going to be there? That means you're banking on him staying and getting 1 or 2 other max players. I don't even know if the math works out with that, but yeah, that my spider sense goes off crazy when I see all those names involved in trade. Now, if you're talking about Cantor and Hardaway and Courtney Lee, people who they're trying to move anyway, maybe even a Trey Burke, all right, maybe. But all of that, I don't know, man. I don't know. AD is great, but I don't know. Lonzo and Ingram are crying right now. Say goodbye to the West Coast. Fred Gonzalez, if you saw our post on IG, shout out to the Social Moments team. Yeah, we're on deck for all scenarios. And it was reported that a trade with the Lakers would have to start with Lonzo, Kuzma, Ingram, and picks. So, yeah, I think you do that if you're the Lakers, right? You get AD, you bank on getting another big-name free agent, and you just rock with it. I don't know. I wonder what Laker Nation thinks. Is it worth all of that to get AD to Hollywood or SoCal? Let me not piss off my California friends, my SoCal friends. But that's not LA. If y'all know the difference between LA County city, let me know too, because I'm still trying to figure it out years later. Anthony Davis is overrated. Pelicans barely make the playoffs each year. Look at Harden putting work without any help. Big men are just not impactful. 86 star. Harden was also putting in work like AD when he didn't have a second or third star and he was getting eliminated early in the playoffs. It wasn't until he got Eric Gordon, Chris Paul, Ariza, and those players around him that they were able to go as far as they could. And you can see when a talent supersedes their own team. And at what point do we blame the front office for not putting the right pieces around that player, enticing other players to join him? Like there has to be work done in the front office if you want that success. I don't think you put it on AD. And if AD is overrated, I'd like to see what underrated looks like. Russ, Jeremy Grant, unprotected first round 2019 for AD. I think you might have to add a little bit more than that, but that might be a good starter. Who knows? Y'all really want to get Russ out of here, Mr. Triple-Double? Damn, y'all hate Russ. Do you think he's traded by the deadline or in the summer? Taco916. That's the beauty of this, right? The Pelicans don't have to do anything. They can just keep waiting and waiting and field whatever offers they want to get, because he's under contract until, I believe, 2020, and he already said that he's going to play out, and he informed them that he wanted to get traded so they could get assets. They can wait on Boston. They can wait on Boston for that Kyrie trade. So they definitely need to get the best deal possible, so I think they'll be able to wait. But if they get an offer they can't refuse before the trade deadline, I don't think that they refuse it. Ninja Turtles, Daddy Joe, yes sir. Since 1984, you know I always come through with the shirts. This is one of my favorite cartoons of all time. Heroes in a Half Shell. Don't watch the movies though, because it's a little funny style. It's not too good, but I liked it as a kid. I love the cartoon too. And I love talking to y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to all the cast, everybody, production in the back. And be sure to tune in all this week, because Taylor Rooks is live from Atlanta, her hometown, to do a special edition of Let's Talk About It live from Radio Row, Wednesday through the end of the week. So you're gonna get all your Super Bowl fix there. A lot of special guests too. So so make sure you tune in and make sure you keep here every day, Wednesday through Friday at noon on Bleacher Report's IG Live. Thank you once again for joining us. I'm Jeff, and until next time, check you later.